Mazanwa, Trononama, Ihowa, Conas Atá Shiv Galéir, Falterashwig, Agron Nua, new episode, it's gCéadaoin Weekly, Agron Iver, a Shacht, episode number 77. Conas Atá Shiv Galéir. Guys, how are you all doing? Níl mór an lama fáca. Riv Zera na blina, tá sé duchreidse seo on, well, it's doch an episode Zeranach, it's bhí na sauna. The last episode of November, agus Jan seachtain by Miss Stricta. Lá nullig will have arrived at Christmas Day in 4 weeks. Níl mé féin ro half it leis an nullig. I'm not too obsessed into Christmas, really. It's come along. I don't really mind. Níl sé codonna ach tá cúpla rud leis nach not that níonlam. There's a few things around it that I don't like. Ach sin ceart lór fós dumsa stocha, I guess, leis an nullig an rud smó ná an chance atagam dul arash geherin. Agus seachtain a chahu on chins to kind of spend a week or general around about a week, sometimes a bit less, sometimes a bit more, or in the bioganin ní smó, or in the bioganin ní slú, ach just hon a bit in an dul arash geherin, fad cúpla lá, ma clown a ecals to see my family, agus ma chordza, agus mar shinde, and just to kind of have a week off work, I guess, on seachtain one, a bit agam sear on Ober. So although Christmas itself isn't too important to me, cé nach bhfuil an nullig I féin róhabh do dumsa, fós tá sé tábhaach dum gohfuil an seans agam dul bháile agus gach de ecáach in my heachsa, in my house, ní bhín muid really déanamh mór on Christmassy. You know, we don't really do much Christmassy action, cearclór. Bín gach de sir on Ober. Sin an tain or Irin na blina, it's the only time during the year where we're all in the house, we're all in the same one room together. Chulmunt galéir sa siomer céine agus sa teach céine le chéile. Seachas lá nullig ní Harlíonn sé, apart from Christmas Day, it doesn't happen, apart from maybe a weird coincidence if I'm home and everybody else is home at the same time, and tá tusa, mata misha. Arash in Éireann agus tá gach den eile sa teach lá amháin, ach deagan ná ní Harlíonn sé, normally it doesn't happen. And looking forward to going back to Ireland. I feel like I haven't been there in a while. Mohiam nach raumi and sin le tamil. I was there 2 months ago. Bhí min sin Galví ó hin, but for whatever reason, níl sagam cin fá, I don't know why, mohin sé, it feels gur am níos fuidse, that it's a longer time since I've last been. So it'll be nice to go back and, you know, I spoke about it before in the podcast. I normally go back April, September and Christmas. So deagan ná téimarash fa seachtainna. Mi eibreán seachtain, mi bhean fóver agus seachtain ag an nullig agus I know tá sé níos fearr I mi eibreán agus mi bhean fóver. It's nicer in April and September, mar bín na leitheanta níos fuidse, deagan ná bín an aimsir níos deise, the weather's normally nicer. Ach, an nullig níl an dárad sin ad, you don't have both of those things normally at Christmas. Ach, yeah, im lína níl sagam cén fá, I don't know why, ach tá mé really agsúil go mór le dul arash agus cúpla lá a caithfh arash an sin. Ceapam, tá cúpla imeacht difriúil ar siúil, few different events, to make déanú an Ross 10k in Athenry, lá Stefans, I'm doing the 10k race over in Athenry on Stephen's Day, agus tá plan agam hon búla le chúpla cara, plan on meeting a few friends, agus ceapan ghfuil mé chun dul sús go maile clia, hon búla le cara an sin. I think I'm going to go up to Dublin to meet your friends there, agus amach a bheith agin le chéile and have a nice out together before I fly back to Seville, riv a hagam arash go Seville. So nuair atá níos mó rudí le déanamh ar nói bín sé níos spregúla when there's more things to do. Obviously it's more exciting agus builan tú níos mó taithna bheas you know, you normally enjoy it a bit more. Agus sin an téma bhfuil mé actually ag géirí labhartfuoi an teachtain seo. So that's actually the I suppose topic or theme that I want to speak about this week, and that's Ireland. Mar tá an tauchán ar siúil in Éireann an teachtain seo, an old tauchán. So the election, the general election, is on this week in Ireland. Tá sé ar siúil ar an ine, an níl lá is fihid de bhí na sauna. Níl an labhart faoin tauchán é féin, I'll be bortha. I'm not going to speak about the election itself. Ní maithlam labhart faoin politiocht ar an bud gaile ach é sin ráte. That being said, tá sé lúta agam cúpla or like cúpla seachtain. I've mentioned it a few times over the last few weeks, I guess, with different things le rudí difriúil an tácan san stáitíntia agus na tiltte an seo sa Spáin, the floods here in Spain as well, the election over in the US. Ach ní mé chun éon tormaí politúla a thuirt, I'm not going to give any kind of political opinions or anything. Ach rud éigen around mé I géirí labhairt fhí beaganí ná cick bronnach agus atá sé domsa how sad it is for me an méid dúilteachas atá in éireann faoi láthair nó feictar gohfuil a méid dúilteachas sin ann. So how much kind of negativity and sadness there is in Ireland. Agus tuigim céad fan géad cén fá. You know, tá mise I mo chónaí is civil. In Iescart na Spáine, tá mé I mo chónaí sa Spáin le 3 bliana go le. Anús, I've been living here in Spain for 3.5 years, I think. Not too far off, 4 years at this point. Agus cosú le alán daoine ar cóis lumsa, like a lot of people my age. Tá mé se ceithre bliana is fiche díos. Tá mé tar éis éire a ágáil. Agus tá lán fáithne le sin agus tá fána difriúla ag gach duine. Domsa beidir bhí sin níos mó, well, you know, I gcónaí tá push factors agus pull factors agat mar tear fá I méile, as you would say in English. So beidir na pull factors sin na rudí iontacha faoin Spáin, the great things about Spain, agus an méid rudí le déanamh an seo, an aimsir, an cultúr, an teanga, we'll say ní sira freshen that's cheaper as well, agus sin tá push factors agat. So na droch rudí Maidir lenar dír féin stocha agus gachar den éireann cick custasach agus atá sé beidir orintanta tá aspar rudí le déanamh. There's kind of a lack of things to do agus an aimsir agus, you know, tá dá rud ag buint leis. The two things are both related to them. Ceapan mé gcónaí bíon daoine ag labhairt an nummarcha faoin na droch rudí in éireann agus ní bhíonn siad actually ag dúr isteach ar na rudí maithe faoin áit an eile. So people are always kind of, I think, focusing in on the bad things in Ireland and maybe not thinking about the good things about other places. Nervine. Na hargon she show, and these arguments are going to happen in not just na choráit to show these conversations faoi daoine óga ag bogu go Canada, no go dtí an Austral, no go London, no éonáit mar sin. Yeah, ní luútar go minic na rudí maithe sna tír heile I gcónaí just bíon daoine ag labhairt faoin na drochraí in éireann agus céadh Jackar agus atá sé chuna bheith I do chun óga inis in éireann how difficult it is to be a young person in Ireland. Now, and I suppose, you know, that was a big part of why I moved abroad, and it's, you know, there are a lot of reasons why there's so much negativity in the country at the moment. Tá lán cúisina gohfuil an méid sin dúilteachas sa tír faoi láthair. Mar hampla má éigean tú ar in the polls faoin tácan, if you look at the polls, an Pórtaí is orda sa polls nílach 50 fan géad nó 51 fan géad den taíocht acadú, and 20% or 21% of the sports tá sé sin an ísisiil ar fad níl mór an tíortha in éonáit san Europe leis an Pórtaí is orda le níos lú ná 50 nó 51. There's very few parties or countries, I should say, anywhere in Europe where the highest party has less than 21%. Agus tá spáinse sin beidir nachhfuil daoine ag mothú le chéile, that people aren't feeling kind of united, nachhfuil muoín ag lán daoine sna Pórtaí had zifriúla, that people don't have, I suppose, support or trust in the parties. Ní bháin na Pórtaíthe sa rialtas, not only the parties in the government, but the parties outside of the government. Na Pórtaíthe taobh muo san rialtas. Agus tá an dúilteachas faoi, you know, cost of living, céadh costasach, agus atá rudaí in éireann, céadh Jackar, agus atá sé chun seach a ceannach, how difficult it is to buy a house now. If you orsan a chur ar chís, even to rent an apartment or to rent a room, even in Náliamh mar hampla, tá sé an Jackar chun seomra all monowil who sauce the Renu. Agus ní mé ag labhairt faoi an Thorasán a Renu. I'm not speaking about sharing the apartment. Obviously, you'll have to share the apartment. Ach tá mise ag labhairt faoin seomra a Renu. I'm talking about sharing the room. Tá seán an Jackar chun seomra all ditch féin to get a room for yourself. Fós tá aspa size infrastructure in éireann. Airport Fáileág Clí. I gcónaí bíonn mé ag tuairt amach faoi Airport Fáileág Clí. I'm always giving out about Dublin Airport, but I think it is a major issue in Ireland. Ceapan gur 5 on a war in in Éireann, a lán rudaí buint le airport bhaile clia. A lot of things around Dublin Airport, agus arís ní léon strain, nó líon éon metro, nó líon éon tram ag dul ón airport go leor na cathrach, ní le bus amháin agus ten cent le sam gach lá óir nó gach óir ní me cinnte goes about every half an hour, maybe even every hour. An sin áting cosú le Gaillimh, is as Gaillimh mé féin, I'm from Galway myself. My Chrádsbhaile féin, my own village, tá sé 5 nóid jeig tíomh mu sa chathair na Gaillimh. It's 15 minutes outside of Galway City. Níl seach 7 nó 8 kilometer as chathair na Gaillimh, 7 or 8 kilometers. Níl éon train, níl éon Lewis nó tram. Tá tú an rothóir úsáid, seach tá sé sin casta, you can use the bike, but that's complicated, mar níl le lánaí rothóir agus ní bhí bhóithíonn a lot daoine comportach ar na bóthir sin. A lot of people don't feel comfortable on those roads. So tá an bus, tá tú ag bra ar an mus man bhfuil cór agat, má tá tú ag éirí cór all if you want to get a car. Cór dar láva, fiú tá sé chun ba sé is am hartar 10 míle, nó beidir 7 nó 8 míle euro le haid cór tá hana féin beidir 100 míle kilometer air. A car that already has maybe 100,000 kilometers on it. Is tóca an rud a bhfuil mé ag rá níos mó ná ein rud eile more than anything else is I gcónaí tá lán barriers in Éireann más duine óchu if you're a young person. There's always a lot of barriers, and it feels like the main barrier often, whichever way you work it out, sin an target, it ends up being the money. You know, má tá tú ag labhairt an sin faoi cór a bheith agat agus órasán a bheith agat rudaí a bhí bhád níos éasca chun ceannach beidir 5 nó 3 bliain ó hin I gcompráid leis an pá in comparison with the pay. A lot easier to buy maybe 20 or 30 years ago. Ní rá sé éasca ar chruib, it wasn't easy at all agus tá sugam bhí a lán fáimhine le airgid ag daoine in Éireann sna thugtaidí mar hampla in the 80s agus sna seascaidí fós bhí a lán buchtanas in Éireann. There was a lot of poverty in Ireland in the 60s really. Ach moille inis tá lán a lán airgids ag tastal wet chun na rudaí sin a bheith agat agus tá na rudaí sin ag tastal wet really. Beidir ní órasán umlán, maybe not a full apartment, but you kind of need a car in a lot of places in Ireland. Mar gheall nach bhfuil mór an umper pibli because there's not a lot of public transport. And I think a lot of people feel as well after living 25-30 years with their parents thrice a bheith in le gcónaí 5 bliain is 30 bliain lena dismóthirí, and they know there's very little chance of them getting a house maybe within the next 10 years agus tá is acu nach bhfuil mór an seans acu teach all sna 10 mlíana atá roin. Well, they're looking for an apartment, and you add all that up, even just órasán agus cór agus an sin an petrol agus an orchas freisin tá an orchas a gcónaí anna ord in Éireann agus tá tú an níos mó airgid a thuile in Éireann ná an seo sa Spáin. You can earn more money in Ireland than you can here in Spain or wherever it might be. Ach really níl a lán airgid I gceist leis, tá cara agam san elvéis agus chuir mé ceist there. Like nach bhfuil an elvéis an a chustasach, nach bhfuil sé deachardit chun markdal is an toughiid gonna live or survive over there. Start sé no mar tá sé chustasach, tá sé níos custasaí ná Éireann, more expensive than Ireland, ach tá an pá I bhád níos mó. So an ratio sin idir an targad agus cost of living custas marktála tá sé bhád níos lú in Éireann ná mar atá sé in áit sanna eile than it is in other places. And it feels shallow to always be talking about money. Mochín sé beganín buí chuna bheith I gcónaí ag labhairt faoin airgad sin a rud, mun bhfuil an target agat in Éireann if you don't have the money agus tá man ag labhairt, ní man ag labhairt faoi daoine ag déanamh tada. We're not speaking about people doing nothing. Tá lán daoine in Éireann beidir níl siad ag déanamh aon rud agus ar nóí tá an aib céine acu, then they have the same problem of course. Ach tá lán daoine agus tá siad ag opair sé lá in aine seachtainna post sach ma agus fós níl siad an íoch as na rudaí sin. Níl daoine ag éirí páistí a bheith acu. People don't want to have kids Marialler seo níl daine ag géirí nó ní bhóithíonn siad compradach as clán a chosú. They don't feel comfortable in starting a family. Agus níl is agam, conas ar a theatre an Imirce. I don't know how this problem is solved. Ní mé gra caithí an rialtasaí enú níos mó, or the government have to do more. Well, níl is agam, I don't know, because it's complicated. Tá sé casta. Ní matlam nuair bhín daoine ag gra caithí an rialtas níos mó a dhéanamh, when people just say the government have to do more, because the government are doing a lot. Tá an government ag déanú a lá an rudaí. So it's tricky, it's tough, but I suppose, ó mé dhearcha hain, from my perspective, tuigim céad fan géad, 100% céan fá ó bhfuil daoine óga ag fágan le tíre agus ag dul go hátainna cosúil le London, an Elvéis, an Spáin, an Austráil, Canada, na Stáit Aontaithe. Níl me cinse an bhfuil a lá daoine ag dul go dtí na Stáit Aontaithe níos mó. I don't know how many people going to the US anymore compared to years ago, at least. Ach cin fá ó bhfuil daoine óga ag bogu haar lear. Hi guys, hope you won't mind me interrupting the podcast just for a minute. That is to give a bit of a big announcement that from Thursday, the 28th of November, so the day after this episode comes out, until the 2nd of December, so that is next Monday, all courses on learnirishonline.com are half price. So if you've been thinking of maybe buying, whether it might be the beginner's course or the comprehension course or the cheat sheet packs for yourself, tomorrow's the cheapest it's ever going to be, until maybe next Black Friday next year. But it's going to be 50% off. Or if you're thinking of buying one of them as a Christmas present for someone, could make quite a good Christmas present. It's something different, saves you a trip into town, and can start a kind of lifelong journey of language learning for someone else. They're all over on learnirishonline.com, and if you have any questions about the courses or the contents of them, you can give me an email at liam.learnirishonline@gmail.com. The sale starts at midnight from Thursday the 28th, and will keep on going until the end of next Monday, Cyber Monday, the 2nd of December. Thank you very much. Agus, few mátá an target agat in air, and even if you do have the money in Ireland, tá rudí nach bhfuil tú a gceannas orthu. So there's things that you aren't in control of, and the money can't change. Rudí nach bhfuil an target in an ahrú. Is cuma mátá €1,000,000 agat sa bank. No, it's cuma mátá áras an siar nasca agat if you have an apartment free or you're gifted a car or rud éigean mar sin. Fós, gach lá nullag, ba sé dúircha ag láthair tar éis sé cathair, ní bhaidh sé geal gotí láthair tar éis ní ar mad sin. It won't be bright until 9:30 in the morning. It'll be dark at 4:30. That'll always be the case till the day we die. An lá ein spás, cóh maith le sin, gach gíomhar, ba sé fluc, it'll be wet, gach gíomhar ba sé 4. Sin na rudaí agus arís, beidir gúil cuma beaganín bhuí sin. There might be a bit of a shallow kind of appearance, or might seem a bit shallow to say that, ach sin an éarna agus déanann sé difriocht tá a bhí áirláin sin. It makes a difference to your mental health, agus just an chuí ó bhfuil tú ag mothú gach lá, the way that you're feeling every day. So I think it's tricky. A lot of people are 100% happy in Ireland. A lot of daoine óga tá siad céad fan géad sásta in éireann, agus tá siad an fannacht an sin, agus beidir gúil sé beagnaín deachradómh ó thaobh airgidte. It might be a bit difficult for them in terms of money. Beidir nach bhfuil sé. For some people it might not be. Góirithe beidir daoine amuigh faoin tua, especially some people out in the country, some places where situations might be different. Beidir gúil na cásanna beagnaín dearfúil. Ní mé cinnte nó beidir daoine eile sna catharcha moille siad níos company. Maybe some other people in the cities, they feel more comfortable. Ní mé cinnte, I'm not sure, and everybody's situation is different. Tá cás gach den it's dearfúil. But for me, as much as I would like to move back to Ireland one day, tá mé géirí bugur asc éireann lá bháin. Tá gá rud leis is tócha. There's two things with it. Agus mise im a fichidí inis, as I'm in my 20s now, tá mise lán sásta fannacht an seo sa Spáin, agus fiú muna rá na faibanna seo a gin in éireann. Even if we didn't have these problems in Ireland, ceapam go méach mé an seo. I think I would be here in Spain or somewhere abroad, mar is even lom an Spáin, is even lom an cultúr, an sanga, tá chords agam an seo, tá bhád níos má rudí le déanamh, there's way more things to do, agus mar sinnte, and so on. But I think there'll come a time, you know, by am sa tauci, beidir nar tá mé trocha bliain díis, beidir níos sinne, níos óge, maybe older, maybe younger, agus by mé gra, okay, tá mé géirí bugur ras, no ar a leid, cúpla mí, 3 no ceithre bhí, beidir 3 or 4 months in aine blina per year a chaithimh in Éireann. And when that day comes, I'm not sure how possible it will be, and it's not just to do with money, you know, like cúna dé by make tilla mo chóchan arrogance hun é dhéanamh ag an buinte sin. At that point I'll hopefully be earning enough money to do it, but it's more so there's so many different barriers and so many different things, agus fiú má tá tú ag dul arás go héireann, má tá tú ag leabhart trí rudí le déanamh, you know, bín daine ag leabhart faoi gáilmh agus tá neart rudí le déanamh in áilimh. There's loads of things to do in Galway, but there's really not in comparison to other places across Europe, across the world. It's really gumprod, lots and eile, tíortha eile, cathrach eile, timpeall an down níl. And you know, in Ireland, apart from Galway, Dublin's probably the only place with more things to do. Seachas Gaillimh nílach blog clia, le níos má rudí le déanamh, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable going to Dublin for different reasons. Moille le lá daoine mí chompradaach ag dul go maille clia. Tá fána difriúla le sin, there's different reasons for that. Arís beidir mar an target, maybe because of the money, maybe because of how safe it might be at times. Beidir mar cicómh sábhailse, nó mar nach bhfuil sé sábhailse in áiteanna difriúla sa chathair in different places in the city. So, you know, overall, when you add these up, there's a lot of reasons to go. Tá lán fána le fágáil. Agus I gcónaí bhí, you know, listen, ní feib nua I seo. Sin star na héireann, gach glún, really, every generation bhí daine ag fágáil. You know, go dtí mar dúirt mé na 60 na 70 in Éireann bhí lán buchtanas, so bhí gach den ag dul go London, go Boston, go nua Amach, everybody's going to Boston, New York, London. An sin na 80 bhí cúla economiachta agin, we had a economic crisis or recession, the 80s, thosaí daine ag fágáil arís. So nó catí, so the 90s beidir bhí rudí níos fearr fós bhí daine ag fágáil, there are still people leaving. Agus an sin go bhfuil sa hocht, agus an crash, an cúla economiachta arís, the economic crisis again, the recession again in 2008, agus bhí daine ag fágáil go dtí go bhfuil sa 50, go bhfuil sa 60, well, they're stopped daine ag fágáil, people didn't stop leaving, ach beidir bhí na hifrica ag laidú ag an buinte sin, maybe at that point the numbers were decreasing. Agus, you know, bhí daine ag rá ag go bhfuil sa seachtain, go bhfuil sa thuchtain, go bhfuil sa níide go tá éire ag airí beag an ínró chosasach, ba ceartm dul, bhí lán airgid san Astráil ag an buinte sin. There's a lot of money in Australia at that point to be made le tuile, níl an méid céine slátá Johan. There's not the same amount nowadays from what I've heard, at least, agus an sin COVID, agus an aspa tíochta, the lack of housing ag airí níos massa an táimar fad. So tá sé deachragus, you know, a lá daoine éarnacha an teachtain seo margheallach bhfuil postal vote agin, cos no postal vote, no muna bhfuil tú san áit I hain an láid an taucán. If you're not in the place itself on the day of the election, ní féidir leat votáil. So tá na mílte, na 10 mílte, tens of thousands, beidir hundreds of thousands daoine timpeall an down, agus ní bhaid siad in an votáil de híine margheall nach bhfuil siad an sin ach bistócha muna bhfuil tú I a chónaí in Éireann. If you're not living in Ireland anymore, well, beidir ní ceart teach is G Sports ifriúil é sin. That's a different debate altogether, agus ní mé cinnte really cén chuí a bhóithíonn mé faoi sin. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. There's arguments, I suppose, both sides of it. Ach yeah, bráin mar thosaí mé ag rá tá lán diúltagus in Éireann faoi láthair faoi rudaí, agus inis tá mé ag cur leis an diúltagus sin am adding to that negativity beidir. Ach just ceap mé beidir le daoine bheadh sé well, cúpla rud tá lán daoine ag éisteach le seo I ddíortha difriúla, ní leach seaca fan géad den lucht éisteachta ar Gaeilge Weekly ag éisteacht in Éireann. So only 60% of the listenership on Gaeilge Weekly is listening in Ireland. So cínta ar an óid tá lá daoine agus beidir ní raibh siad riomh in Éireann ach tá siad ag fólam na Gaeilge marall go bhfuil clán Éireannach acu nó just tá sim acu in Éireann agus ar teanga ach freisin na láinte na daoine ag éisteacht san Astráil, Nua Héileann, an Bhreatain, Canada, na Stát Aontaithe. Tá siad ag éisteacht mar rugú agus tógu iad in Éireann ach inis tá siad ina gcónaí haar lear agus beidir gohfuil planna acu chun dul ais beidir go ceapan siad nach mai siad ar ais go Joe. They think maybe they won't be back ever again. You know, tá ní leathna agam ar chuoinnig dtíreach. I don't know people exactly, but tá lán scéalta cloist agam daoine na Stát Aontaithe, you know, Éireannig, Irish people in the US, agus tá siad an sin in an-simplí against the logs, marall ar sin, ní bhaid an seans acu teachtar ais go Joe. They'll never have the chance to come back because má híonn siad chuig an Teirfort agus tá orthú an pass a haspáint by siad I driblóid if they have to show the passport at the airport, they'll be in trouble. Agus ní bhaid siad in an teachtar ais go Joe gan dul chuig an prison without going to prison first. So, you know, Shinrod agus Shinrod a hugam. Well, Shinrod a hugging buganin broad done capping. That's something that gives a bit of pride to me in the work that I do. If I am refushed or I'm gaham, I get emails from time to time. Do you know, oh, you know, Garma, that's on Pudcraile Yenev, Garmaget, that's the content of Yenev, agus ta she duchredza on maids refushed a hagen as Tivo Mwe Darren. It's unbelievable the amount of emails that come from outside of Ireland. Do you know, oh, is as doing an all me octome imachoni sarank le templina is as galliv me octome imachoni san astral le 3 blina le 5 blin nil sam. I don't know. Ach, you know, mar doorspain tá seaca fan géid sin lucht éisteachta ag éisteacht in Éireann ach dearhan seaca 7 beidir 8 fan géid sin a refushed I am féin that I'm a self-cash. Tagann siad as tíorthaid ar friúla Éireannig nó daoine le buint Éireannach, some people with an Irish connection ar leiad at least, ach tá siad ina gcónaí áit an haar lear san idal sa rank sa Gearmán sa rúis mercha cheas na Stát Aontaithe éáit péáit ar fud an down agus stocha ar lámháin tá sé sin sais brónach go rá ar an méid sin daoine fágáil agus go bhfuil fós go dtí seo ar an méid sin daoine fágáil ach mar dúirt méid dá méid an seans agam dul ar ais an isis agus gachar a bheith íochta dom and everything to be paid for orsan, chlór, áitias, I maiile clían nó áitias in Aliv, a nice place in Dublin or a nice place in Galway. Ní rachan, mar tá numar go rudaí haar lear. There's too many things abroad nach bhfuil agin in Éireann agus arís ní lucht an rialtas é sin. That's not the fault of the government sin Imirce. Well, beidir cúpla rud is lucht an rialtas siad ach cúpla rud eile just sin an chuí martá sé an Imirce agus céco beidir náisiúnta agus atá sé seo, the weather and how international is here agus an méid rudaí le déanamh agus céco éagsúil agus atá gach chuid den tír, how different every part of the country is. I'm sure people in the US will say the same. Cínta go níorchach daoine san Stát Aontaithe an rud céine, tá sléimhte agat, tá sciáil agat, tá an airge agat, tá an socht agat, the heat, tá trána agat, tá cosarga agat, seaside, tá gachar agat, tá catharcha mhóra, catharcha bheoga, catharcha le cultúr difriúil. Nis am just tá sé cool agus táil an rudaí haar lear nach bhfuil agin in Éireann. So I gcónaí tá sé go deas chun dul ar ais Géireann agus, you know, beidir nuair atá mé ní sinne arís trocha cuaig, carcha bliain díis, 30, 35, 40 years old. Beidir go my fun or maybe I'll be eager to move back full time. Go lá an Imsrithe. Ach, nuair tá tú with a fichidí agus tá tú I géirí to live your life, mar it's airfa. Dom serenos, tá sé níos éasca é sin I dhéanamh haar lear agus tá níos mó taithí saoil agam, more life experience agus just níos mó crack haar lear, more crack, and it's a bit sad to say that. Buganí bronnach chun é sin rá ach lá bheile on the other hand tá sé cool gohfuil an méid seo taithí saoil ag éarnig difriúla inis fud an now that so many Irish have so much life experience across the world agus beidir 10 mbliana 50 bliain by a lot daoine ag teachtar as. A lot of people will be coming back agus by an méid sin scéalta agin, an méid sin teangach agin, we'll have that many stories, that many languages, an méid sin Zarcha agin will that much kind of perspective or outlook ar rudí difriúla. So, cosú léon rud tá buntáistí agus mí buntáistí le gach eile rud. There's always positives and negatives to everything nach. Tá sé chasta. Níl sé chomhéasca le rá, slucht an réalta sé. It's the fault of the government talking and am céann is sé chomhéasca le rá, bhí sé I gcónaí chuna bheith mar sin. It was always going to be like that. Rud éigean idir an dá rud I hearm shit, something in between the two, in my opinion. Agus mar Dortmund ní fáib nua I seo. It's not a new problem is rud. Well, go háirithe an éireann ar an sin go agus cinnte go mbeidh sé an sin go in Malachy, and it'll always be there in some type of way, sa tauki. Okay, tasú lagam nach rá sé sin roiúltach. I hope that wasn't too negative. Ceapam gur chríochní mé an sin le puinte níos jarfií, but a more positive point. Ach sinné ar éanos fi mé géirí labhairt faoi sin agus an tácháin ar siúil an teachtain seo agus aláin éannig ar fud an domhan nach mai. In éireann nach bhfuil in an bhótáil sa tácháin nach freisin nach mai in éireann agus nach mai ina gcónaí in éireann le haghaidh an chéad réaltas eile for the lifetime of the next governments. Marial nach bhfuil siad I géirí dollarás agus Marial beidir nach bhfuil an seans acu dollarás freisin. So tá podcréile seo le haghaidh na daoine sin thar lear ar fud an domhan na éireannig sin go háirithe the Irish especially a bhí na géisteach le Gaeilge Weekly gach seachtain tá mise sa bhád céanna mar sibse. I'm in the same boat as you. Ag buint fear hapna bheas ma héal lán sásta ghfuil mé sa Spáin ach ag an am céanna ar nó I gcónaí tá beaganín brón. There's always a tiny bit of sadness nach bhfuil mé in an a bheith arás in éireann. Sin guys, gur míle maith big thank you as a bheith ag éisteacht an teachtain seo. Baimiid rás an teachtain seo thugann ná Jane Jarmid tá leagan níos líofa den fudcréile seo. There's a more fluent version of this podcast and there's a simpler version tá leagan níos simplí le gach rud ráite I méile agus sa Gaeilge. Gur míle maith guys, le rá mé live an teachtain seogan slán agus bannacht. Goodbye and God bless.